After a few days of non-stop rumors, reports, and everything in between citing that the Eagles are imminently going to trade Carson Wentz, it seems as though talks are cooling off, but the picture couldn't be more interesting. We're going to break down as much as we can in this short form video for you here today. My name's Liam Jenkins. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy this sort of content. Let me know if you do and your opinions on all of this down in the comments. We've got to start off with what the situation is currently. It looks as though the Eagles aren't exactly in a hurry to trade Carson Wentz right now, as Howie Roseman continues to leverage the phone lines and get the best deal possible. Before recording this video, Mike Kay put out a report stating that the Eagles want a haul similar to what the Lions got for Matt Stafford. One major problem there is that Carson Wentz is not Matthew Stafford and has not been regarded as one of the top quarterbacks in the league, or at least a top 10 quarterback in the league for the last few years. Instead, there have been numerous concerns on the field, off the field. Whether we agree with them or not is irrelevant at this point. It's something teams have to address and be very wary of when not only spending significant assets just to get Carson Wentz, but then of course managing what is a hefty contract. So as Howie Roseman continues to leverage the phone lines, there are two front runners. You've got the Indianapolis Colts and then you've got the Chicago Bears. I feel as though the Colts are a warmer fit for Carson Wentz than the Chicago Bears for a multitude of reasons, but I do think the Eagles, if they're ever gonna reap value from this, it's gonna come from Chicago. Now, both of those teams made some interesting decisions over the past few days. Chicago kicked things off, giving John DeFilippo the title of passing game coordinator. Now, he was previously the team's quarterback coach. Who is John DeFilippo? If you're new to the Eagles, if you're new to this channel, if you don't really look at coaching staffs that often, John DeFilippo was the man responsible for coaching Carson Wentz in his rookie year and in 2017. As we know, 2017 Carson Wentz is like a human video game, one that is yet to be matched by the North Dakota State product. That year was incredible. It is what sent the Eagles to the Super Bowl, really, or at least in a position to make a run at it after 13 weeks of dominance, what would have been 14 had it not been for that torn ACL. Since then, obviously, we know the narratives, we know how things have transpired, but DeFilippo left at the end of 2017 to a offensive coordinator gig in Minnesota, has worked his way around, was a QB coach in Chicago, and now the team who are potentially looking to bring in Carson Wentz have given DeFilippo a more prominent role on that coaching staff. What does that mean for Chicago? Are they preparing to get Carson Wentz? The truth is, we don't know, but it is a bit suspicious that this suddenly comes out of nowhere. Now, to give a QB coach a promotion a year after you had whatever the Chicago Bears had at quarterback this year, it's a little bit sus. Now, are they putting that down to the offensive coaching staff as a whole? We know the offensive line rejiggles they had, and on the same vein, and what David Montgomery did. The guy was the 5th ranked rusher last year. So it's clear they had elements of success on offense. It's just quarterbacking decision making wasn't one of them. But the interesting thing here with DeFilippo is that as much as he's credited with the success of Carson Wentz, Wentz doesn't appear to credit him with that himself. According to numerous reports over the last few years, Carson Wentz didn't exactly take kindly to DeFilippo's tougher style of coaching, and the one man he did take to was his replacement, Press Taylor. Now, the two were buddy-buddy, and ever since Taylor got his fingers onto Carson Wentz as a QB coach, it seemed as though something changed. Like, the mechanics of Carson Wentz just slowly but surely regressed from 2018 through 20, and even in 2019, despite there being a real flurry of offensive production, there were times where he was falling to the ground and just throwing the ball aimlessly as he goes down, and was very lucky that that ball wasn't intercepted or counted as a fumble or something like that. 2020 saw those 50-50 gambles work against him. It was just like losing a hand of blackjack and doubling down again and again and again. And then the regressive mechanics partnered with that just meant for a very bad showing. Press Taylor very much the guy that could fix it. He's a QB coach. That's his job, okay, to work on those mechanics. Carson Wentz may be a broken quarterback. He's a fixable one. The errors in his game are not unfixable. They are not things that are like, oh my god, that's it, it's game over. They're very basic things. Anyway, despite this, the Colts actually hired Press Taylor as a senior offensive assistant. Now, who's on the Colts? Frank Reich, who was the offensive coordinator during Carson Wentz's 2017 season. You can see where I'm going with this now. Reich brings in Taylor, who at the time was an assistant QB coach with the Eagles when they overlapped. They'd worked together in the past. Now they get to work together again. Will they be bringing Carson Wentz with them? The Indianapolis Colts, if you're Carson Wentz, now have a ton of cap space. They have your former offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach you love working in an offensive role. The Bears are the Bears, and they have Nick Foles, who may or may not be involved in the trade. There could be a chance you're working with him again. Not ideal. And John DeFilippo, who you don't like, but did get the best out of you. And that, to me, is the making of an absolute train wreck of a soap opera, but what I kind of want to see. Obviously, we don't know what the Eagles are going to do, but Carson Wentz is bound to have some input as to where he wants to be. There's no point a team trading for a quarterback who doesn't want to be there and doesn't want to be in that environment. Especially Chicago have got to be a bit wary with this one now. I don't think they would make that move if Wentz wouldn't be comfortable. I feel like there had to have been some kind of communication there. So both frontrunners for Carson Wentz have hired the two coaches, the only two quarterback coaches he has worked with since entering the NFL. Either that is incredibly coincidental or there is a method behind the madness. There is a reason the Colts brought in Taylor after, just a day after, the Bears gave DeFilippo a promotion. It's sort of anything you can do, I can do better. Let's make Carson Wentz at home. Let's make this his place. Let's bring in the guys he wants. If Wentz wants Taylor, he wasn't going to stay in Philadelphia, let's be honest. There is a better chance of that now in Indianapolis. So maybe the Colts are emerging as a frontrunner because of that slight leverage with Wentz wanting to push there. Maybe it will drum down the price, knowing that Wentz wants to be a Colt. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's very interesting information to say the least. We don't really know how much it's going to impact the deal, but it should at least have some kind of weight onto this potential trade. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, guys. From myself, Liam Jenkins, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Apologies, there haven't been many over the past couple of months. It has been so hard trying to keep the website running, which has been flying on all cylinders recently, and do Twitch, and do YouTube, and do everything else. So I'm trying to do the best I can. I hope you enjoy it. If you could drop a subscription, that would be amazing. Follow me on Twitter. It's at Liam Jenkins PSN. I'll see you soon.